Welcome to Get XAML. We'll solve problems on the concept of principal component analysis. Let X be a data set of size 100 cross 5 and sigma be the covariance matrix. If one eigenvalue of the covariance matrix is 0, it implies, okay, so there is redundancy among features. See, what exactly means? If an eigenvalue is 0, this implies what? This occurs when the determinant of any matrix, this covariance matrix is 0. The determinant will be 0 only when there are linearly dependent rows. You already know this matrix concept. The system of linear equations I have explained in detail. Please go through that video lecture. So that means the matrix is singular. So all features are in covariance matrix is singular. That is true. All features are independent. No, some of the features are dependent. That's why this is the definition of actually collinearity. PCA can definitely applied because PCA requires the covariance eigenvalues should be semi-definite. That is, covariance matrix should be semi-definite. That is, lambda should be greater than or equal to 0, not only greater than 0. PCA so can be applied, so cannot be applied is wrong. For a 3D data set with features x1, x2, x3, PCA finds eigenvalues given lambda 1, lambda 2, lambda 3. Okay. None of them is 0. What fraction of variance is captured by first two principal components? You already know. So percentage of variance captured can be given as lambda I divided by sum of all the eigenvalues. So first two means lambda 1 and lambda 2. So this is 4 plus 1 divided by total is 5.5. So that is 5 by 5.5. The answer. Which of the following statements about PCA is by R correct? PCA maximizes variance along the new axis. Okay, yes, that is true. That is the principal component. It tries to find the variance, highest variance, and then projects it. PCA ensures class separation. This is wrong. This is an unsupervised learning. There is no concept of labels and class here. PCA axes are orthogonal. Yes. So all the finally when you get the principal components, they are all vectors. The eigenvectors what you get for each principal component are all orthogonal to each other. PCA can reduce dimensionality with minimal loss of information. Yes. So it reduces dimensions from higher dimension to lower dimensions. That means you will, with minimal loss means some eigenvectors which are having the least variance will be ignored. We will select only choose some top high variance vectors. Okay. So this is true. A data set has highly correlated features. Applying PCA will remove correlation between the features. Yes, because this lambda equal to 0, correlated means one of the eigenvalue will be 0. The matrix determinant will be 0. So this indicates what? Lambda equal to 0 means variance in this is 0. Variance for this component is 0. So it will remove this, right? This will not be projected. So this is true. Increase dimensionality, no, it reduces dimensionality. Reduces noise, yes, because the low variance components will be removed. Leave features unchanged. No, it will change the features because we are going for the covariance matrix, right? So features will be changed. Consider the standardization data set X and covariance matrix sigma. The principal component direction V, that is the eigenvector they are saying. Eigenvector V satisfies. So you have calculated your eigenvector. Just go through my video lectures. I explained how you get the eigenvectors, the concept of eigenvectors. What is the use? I have explained. No, these are all not correct. Just straightforward. Which of the following is true for PCA? PCA is sensitive to scaling of features. Yes, this is sensitive, so you go for standardization. PCA works only for numerical features. This is also true. PCA maximize class separation. This is wrong. There is no class label. This is unsupervised learning. PCA projections minimize reconstruction error because some of the noise components or some of the components with least variance will be removed. So it will help in to minimize the reconstruction error. Given a 2D data set, the covariance matrix is given. The eigenvalues are, so just find the eigenvalues. So just check that if the two rows or columns sum is equal. Okay, in this. So if I take this 2 plus 2 is 4. And then 2 plus 2 is 4. Definitely one eigenvalue will be 4. And then if you see here, both are dependent. Okay, so one row is at least dependent on this. So if I apply row echelon form, I will get one row as 0. Okay, so if one row if I get 0, then that means what? One of the eigenvalue will be 0. So that is the shortcut to find the answer. So check whether the sum, row sum or column sum are equal for all the rows. For example, here this column, if I check, this becomes 4, 4. Okay. In some matrices, say either row or column you have to check. Not only not both, either row or column. If either of the one is true, then that sum will be one eigenvalue at least. Okay. A data set has zero mean and covariance matrix with eigenvectors v1, v2, v3. PCA projection onto top two eigenvectors gives. Okay, so they are saying k is equal to 2. I am selecting two eigenvectors out of these three top. So 1, 2 I am selecting top two. So definitely now from 3-dimensional, this is 3D, right? Initially, it reduces to 2-dimensional. This is correct. Original variance preserved completely. No, because one component I have removed. It may not be removed completely unless lambda is equal to 0. So this is not always true. Projection is along correlated axis. When projection may not be always along the correlated axis, because correlated axis means one of the dependent column or row will be removed. So again, your lambda will be equal to 0. So there will be no projection on this. Cannot be done if eigenvalues are equal. This doesn't apply. So if even the eigenvalues are apply, I will get the eigenvectors for that projection. Which statements are correct among eigenvectors in PCA? So definitely all the eigenvectors are orthogonal. Magnitude, so they are having unit magnitude because we are normalizing them. Okay, the eigenvectors what you write is the unit vector. Okay, so concept of unit vector I have explained in my vectors and linear algebra. Please go through them if you have missed. Represent directions of maximum variance. Yes, only first eigenvector matters. It is not like that. So if there are three eigenvectors v1, v2, v3, so they produce some variance. Okay, lambda 1, lambda 2, lambda 3. It is dependent on our application of data set, how many top eigenvectors I have to select. Okay, so it need not only depend on first eigenvector. It also matters, but this may also matter in our problem. It's not always true. Which pre-processing step is necessary before PCA? To avoid feature scaling, we use standardization. Sampling is not correct, means subtraction we are not doing here. Also no. A 3D dataset projected onto two principal components, which is true. So the 3D to 2D. Okay, the dimensional reduction is from 3 dimension to 2 dimensions. That's what they are saying. Now, variance along projected axis is less than or equal to original variance, less than or equal to. Okay, so definitely if there is 3D to 2D means we will have 3 eigenvalues, and then in 2D we will choose 2 eigenvalues with high variance. So definitely it will be less. So 2 eigenvectors will be there, unit eigenvectors. So equal to case will occur when this is 0. This is 0, this will occur. This is true. The reconstruction possible without loss. So to do reconstruction, definitely because we are ignoring 1. eigenvalue. If it is 0, then there will be no loss. But if it is not 0, that is also not true always. It's not true. Dimensionality is reduced definitely. We are reducing from 3 to 2 dimension. These are orthogonal. So each principal component or eigenvector is orthogonal. Data set of 2D points lie on y equal to 2x. Okay, this is a projection line they have given, y equal to 2x. A straight line. That means one dimensional. PCA, sorry, two dimensional. PCA gives first PC direction as, see what it exactly it means. Y equal to 2x means, so this is my plane. So y is 2x. So the intercept is 0 passing through line. So for x, this is x axis, this is my y axis. So for every x, it is y is 2x. That means the coordinate pairs are x 2x. What will be the vector if I write? It is like this, right? So now I calculate the vectors. It is the unit vector. So I will take out 1 by 2, convert it to unit vector. So check out my video lectures for the procedures in vectors and linear algebra subject. So it is nothing but divide it by the distance. Okay, 1 square plus 2 square. So this is 1 by root 5, 1, 2. So this is the answer. Statements about PCA are false. Okay, false. PCA assumes linearity. This is true. PCA removes mean. No. It just readjusts or recenters the mean. PCA maximizes class separation. No, this is not the machine learning algorithm. Sorry, supervised learning algorithm. PCA eigenvectors are orthogonal. This is true. So B and C are the answer. These statements about PCA eigenvalues and eigenvectors are true. Eigenvectors give the directions of components. That is true. Sum of the eigenvalues equal to total variance. Yes. So lambda 1 plus lambda 2 so on is gives the total variance. So always true. Eigenvectors are unit vector. This is true. First PC always along first principal component always along x1 axis. See, this may not be true always. So each eigenvector what you get may be of different direction. So you cannot always say it is x1 axis. Okay, first axis. PCA applied on 4 cross 3 data set is N and D. Okay. Sum of eigenvalues is 10. Largest eigenvalue is 6. Variance captured by first principal component. So sum of eigenvalues is the trace. So 10. So 6. What is the variance captured by this? This is 60%. This is the answer. Given the two-dimensional data points, so only 2 points are given, 5, 15, 15, 5. Perform PCA and determine projection of point, first point, 1, 5, 15 onto first principal component. So just from the matrix, straightforward 5-step procedure, 5, 15, 15 and 5. Then find the mu vector, that is average. That means take this column average, this column average, feature 1 and feature 2. So this will be, first one will be 20, second one, so 20 divided by 2, that is 10. This will also be 10. Now calculate the standard deviation. So standard deviation for the first one is, and second one will be, both will be equal in this case because 5, 15 and 15, 5 and mean is 10, 10. So we get the same thing, that is square root of 1 by 2 x minus mu. So 5 minus 10 whole square plus 1 by 2 15 minus 10 whole square. So this is 5. So we get sigma vector as 5, 5. Now we convert it to standard normal, the first step. So z equal to x minus mu by sigma. So you already know. So we calculate for each of these and form the z matrix. So 5 minus, for example, I'll show it for this. 5 minus mu is 10 divided by sigma is 5. This is minus 1. So we'll get it as minus 1, 1, 1 and minus 1. So in the next step, you have to find the covariance matrix. The covariance matrix is given as 1 by n. Okay, I am assuming n here. Okay, here also n. Okay, because I am assuming here what? Population. So standard deviation is explained in the concept of degrees of freedom in my matrices and linear algebra. Go through it. So for population, I represent it as standard deviation sigma. Okay, so it will be 1 by n into x minus mu square. Okay, summation of all points. But when it is sample, you already know this. Just I am revising here. S is represented as standard deviation and S square as variance. There we will lose 1 degree of freedom. We will write it as 1 by n minus 1. So in these calculations in the exam, be careful if they are asking for population or for sample. Okay, for sample only this part changes. Okay, everything will remain same. Here also in covariance matrix, I am assuming population here. So 1 by n. If it is you are assuming a sample or the question asks for sample data, then 1 by n minus 1. Okay, because 1 degree of freedom is used to estimate that. So this is Z transpose into Z. So multiply these two matrix and transpose and then multiply. So I'll get covariance matrix as finally 1 minus 1 minus 1 and 1, where n is equal to 2. So there are 2 points. Now you find out the eigenvectors. So again you check the row or column sum method. So if I add these two rows, I'll get 0. If I add this row, I'll get 0. If I add this row, I'll get 0. So that means what? Definitely one eigenvalue is. Now, how will you find the another eigenvector? Again, apply this shortcut here. What is shortcut? We know there are two eigenvalues here because the 2 cross 2 matrix. We already know that one of them is 0. So the trace of the matrix, this matrix is equal to sum of the diagonal elements 1 plus 2, 1, and that will be equal to sum of the eigenvalues. You know this property. So this is equal to 2. If lambda 1 is 0, then lambda 2 equal to 2. That's how we can find in the exam quickly. So lambda 1 is 2. Lambda 1 is 2. Lambda 2 equal to 0. Now you find the corresponding eigenvectors. So we'll get V1 equal to 1 minus 1. So other is 0. And value is 0. I need not find it. No. Because this 0 implies what? The variance along that direction will be 0 only. This gives the magnitude of the variance. So now you calculate the normalized vector. See, this vector should be normalized. How will normalize? V1 normalize the unit vector. That is 1 by square root of 2. 1 minus 1. This is my eigenvector. Now you find out the projection. The projection is y is equal to z dot w. So they are asking for this. What is it they are asking? First point. The first point correspond to this, right? So that will be minus 1, 1 into 1 by root 2 minus 1 by root 2. So this I will get it as y is equal to minus root 2. That is the answer. Minus root 2. This is, if I see this axis, it means y equal to minus root 2 x. This is the slope of that projected line. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe and share.